Welcome to Shore Perspectives, a community feature of WESR Radio, highlighting the spirit of the shore from those who call it home.
Rip Rippin, Northampton High School in class of 1974.
What are your fondest memories of 1974 in high school?
Oh my gosh, just running track with my friends and cross country, and just being here on the shore, dating, having a good time with my friends. Everybody went to Cape Charles Beach occasionally, and we just had a really good time at Bayford and other places here, but it was just a great time growing up here on the shore. Well, a lot of our friends live out of state, and it's hard for us to see them, so every once in a while it's great to just get together and recall things of good times and see how we're doing.
My name is Donald Kelley. They call me Donnie.
And what is your favorite memory of high school from 1974?
Let's say football and baseball. Play both. Had a lot of good friends in that class. We got along very well.
Looking forward to seeing them all tonight?
Hopefully so.
Nancy Widgeon Woodson. Jenna Holland Cochran. I just remember being able to wear, girls were finally allowed to wear pants, not jeans, but pants. My mother sewed. I remember she made me a pair of plaid pants. I remember dissecting minks in biology. They were very greasy.
And they smelled awful.
And they smelled terrible.
Just remembering gym. I loved the activity, but I hated the gym suits that we had to wear.
Yes. They were blue and belted and snapped
yes.
up the front.
And the most unpretty things you could have. Yes.
They were terrible. Mm-hmm. My mother did cross-stitch on them with my initials.
Yeah.
L.V. Powell.
And what is your fondest memory of high school in 1974?
Fondest memory, so I would have been a senior. And my fondest memory was I had the opportunity to go to Europe, and the community stepped up and made sure that I had the money. I gave a concert and everything, and from that I became a professional singer.
Was there a teacher that made an impact on you?
Miss Dent, Vice Principal Cisco, Mr. Dent, okay, definitely. Evelyn McCullough, who was Evelyn Turner before she died. So those are the ones, yeah.
And as you're looking back 50 years, is there anything that you see was an important lesson you learned in those years, in your high school years, that you carry with you?
I think I would have taken life more seriously earlier in my life, you know. That's the lesson that I would have learned.
Dottie Barnes Williams.
And what is your favorite memory from Northampton High School?
All of the kids, because it was a diverse group of kids, and we seemed to all get along. We were lucky. Before we graduated, we had some teachers that had just gotten out of college, so they taught different, and they taught that, okay, you can learn this, it's up to you, we're not going to push you because we're not here to do that, so either you learn or you don't learn.
Hi, I'm Roy Ballard. I'm from Northampton High School, class of 1974. I was in the high school band, and I guess some of the band trips, some of the band adventures, learning a marching band, because they created that somewhere in the midst of the years of me being there. So that was exciting. Being able to play instruments and ending up marching, and we really didn't know what we were doing.
Do you have a favorite teacher that you remember from high school?
Jerry Dowdy. He was a history teacher in the 9th grade. He was new. He inspired me about history more than I knew, and so that's been a love of mine forever. And I do have a lot of history at the Eastern Shore. Well, this is the 1974 torch from Northampton High School. It holds a lot of memories. for not only our class, but the underclassmen at the time. Really kind of glad I've held on to this.
Amy Sturgis Darby.
And what do you remember about high school in the 70s?
It was fun. We had a lot. It was fun. We went different, groups, and I didn't play sports, but followed the guys playing sports. Clubs. I was in Tri-High Y. That was a big thing back then. Just, getting together with our friends, hanging out, Friday nights, that kind of thing. It's been fun getting back together with people and seeing people you have not seen in a long time. I look at faces, I go, I think I know you, but I'm not sure. So it's fun reconnecting.
Did you have any favorite teachers?
Yes, one, Randy Parks was one of my favorites. I was a math person, so of course I like that. He helped me get through geometry, and I ended up being a math teacher. So I miss him. Mr. Maisko was fun for chemistry, and our experiments never worked out, but they were fun. And I had a lot of teachers. We had a lot of good teachers. We had good teachers, good administrators. What's fun, Mr. Cisco, the math, PE. I can remember PE, and those crazy PE uniforms we had. They didn't have shorts and tops. We had one-piece bloomer-looking things that snapped up the front and had a little belt and they were real attractive.
My name was Mary Grace Daughtry. I lived in Exmoor.
What are some of your favorite memories about high school in the 70s?
The dress code. Your skirt couldn't be higher than 3 inches above your knee. I remember that. They did not like you to wear jeans or pants, but we started wearing those during the day too also, which I really liked. Of course, there were the pranks that people never suspected sweet little Mary Grace would do. We toilet papered Mr. Maisko's yard one night while he was at the football game. We had a blast. He never suspected me. The other 4 that were with me, he knew about, but somebody ratted me out. So.
What other teachers do you remember fondly?
I have to say Mr. Mears, Garnet Mears, who was a history teacher, and he really turned me on to history. 50 years later, it seems impossible, It's just gone by so quickly and so many changes.
Debbie Ward Kelley. I think my favorite memory is that none of us had any problems. We all got along. I had none of the problems that my children grow with.
My name is Vivian Dent, Vivian Spady now Dent. I taught there for 35 years. Also was coach in track and basketball for a number of years. And I just love Northampton. I had many to come through, and of course they had bad things to say, so to speak, when they were there. But since I've seen them, they come back to Mrs. Dent, you were one of the best. And I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. All the activities, such as prom, I was a part of that and helping to get it organized. And of course, all the sports I said before. So I was an all-around person, and I enjoyed working there. And of course, I retired in '95 after 35 years. And I'm very, very, very happy to meet so many of my people.
I'm Tommy Custis.
And Lakeda Custis. And what is your favorite memory of high school in 1974?
Graduation. And I looked in the tube and there was a diploma there.
Do you have a favorite teacher?
Mrs. Newton.
What class did she teach?
Algebra 1.
Joe Furby, he taught power mechanics and I learned a lot from him.
Kind of watched the teachers and I became a teacher.
I'm Joyce Holland, Joyce Brooks Holland, and I taught English and I sponsored the yearbook while I was there. And then I went into administration. But I was still teaching when this class came through. And I started with some of this class in the 5th grade at Sheridan, because when I first moved down here, that's where I was assigned, even though I was secondary. And I remember ripping, and some of the guys, I had them for phys ed, and I thought they were totally out of shape. They couldn't do jumping jacks, and I had them out there working it. They were like, oh my, who is she? This is a wonderful class. I remember so much when we did with my kids with the annual work so hard, and I got that out today and looked around, and I'm looking at all these wonderful faces, just talking to even a few so far, learning about their families. It's amazing. And of course, I love it because most of them are retired, and JT and I are still working.
My name's Jan Clark.
And what are your fond memories from high school?
Oh my gosh. Well, since I have this wonderful person next to me, I'll share a little memory of her. I think it was English class. 8th grade, I believe it was, at Northampton. It was the year before they consolidated the two schools together. And I remember her being up front and thinking, she was just so personable with all of us. She wasn't like the other teachers. I love my other teachers, but there was something different about this lady. And I must say, I mean, this is a compliment to her greatly, because she's so down to earth, and she included us in things that made us feel like a family. She even had us over to her house and had little parties and things. I don't mean crazy parties, but we got to go over there and act like responsible, soon-to-be adults. And she was always very supportive of all of us. She was a great teacher. Great teacher.
I had great students. I was very fortunate. It was a great time to be there.
For Shore Perspectives and WESR Radio, I'm Kelley Gaskell.